All right, so voting has been held for South Africans living abroad today at high commissions, embassies, consulate-generals around the world. The IEC that says that this could go on for about 24 hours as those stations open and close following the passage of the sun. New Zealand starting there, ending in the United States, where we just crossed live. And in studio, we're joined by the IEC's Chief Electoral Officer, Mamabolo. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Francis.
So who has voted thus far? How's it going?
A very pleasant day, a day of celebration indeed, where voting has happened, such as in the Oceania, Australia, New Zealand, and some parts of Asia. Voting has gone extremely well. Jubilation.
And they are closed now.
And those stations are closed. But what has been important for us is the jubilation that characterized the day, a day of great celebration, jubilation, enthusiasm really for participation in the process.
And in many places voting is still happening, and I understand there's extended hours because it is a Sabbath, so Jewish people can still go after hours in most of these places. Is that correct?
Yes, in most of Europe they are just about to close. As is the case in most of continental Africa. However, there are 4 stations throughout the world where with authorized extension of hours. There is Tel Aviv and London, Los Angeles and New York. Those stations will operate until after 2300 hours today, to accommodate a significant number of South Africans following the Jewish faith.
9,000 thereabouts in London, so that's the largest contingent of South African voters. Just tell us about the sort of preparation that you need to do in the embassy or consulate for this to happen.
London is special because of the numbers, and those numbers are informed by our historical ties with the United Kingdom. We have sent a pre-mission that went to London to assist the diplomatic officials in planning the substations, because to deal with 9,000 people, you need to have multiple streams, and to ensure that people are well trained, that you augment your logistics and so on. So all that is done, and those plans are holding well today. In fact, a few minutes before we started the interview, indications are that there are no queues in London. Okay. And this is a far cry from what we had in 2014. So it means that
points to efficiency, not complacency. People are still voting.
People are still voting. I think a substantial number of the 9,000 that had indicated their wish to vote will in fact vote before they close at 2300 hours.
We heard some of the voters in the US, they're a little bit concerned because they have to put their full details in one of the envelopes. Just explain, so the vote is still secret? How do you get it to South Africa? How do you ensure it remains secret?
Yes, the double envelope system is meant to ensure, firstly, the integrity of the process, because it allows for verification procedures. And secondly, once the verification procedures are undertaken, the outer envelope is removed, and the envelope with no personal details of the voter are then mixed up with the general votes cast. So in that way, the secrecy of the voter is maintained. It is the same principle that we use for special votes in South Africa. So on the 6th and on the 7th of May, those who are going to, those who have applied for special votes will be using the double envelope system for the same reasons.
I think looking back, there was once quite a debate about this. I think now most people accept that voters abroad can vote. But just tell me, from the IEC's perspective, we go through a lot of trouble to let a few thousand South Africans vote. Why is this so important?
No, it is important because voting in one's country's election, it's a expression of one's citizenship. It's expression of the nationhood that you are part of. So, you know, even as these compatriots are far, in many different parts of the world. They still have historical connections with the country. They have a political connection with the country, and they need to be catered for. And as a commission, we're happy that we've been able to accord them this opportunity.
Even if 30,000 votes doesn't make a huge material difference to the election anyway.
Every vote counts in a proportional representation system. So I'm sure for those parties who have done campaigning at these various missions, they'll benefit from the number of votes that are cast today.
And the date chosen, is it significant, Freedom Day?
Indeed. A very overriding consideration was to do it on a day as special as Freedom Day, because this is a day when all of us became one in terms of the political rights that we held. We were on the same queues on April 27 in 1994 to express our own citizenships as equal. So it was a very historically connected choice that the Commission made to allow South Africans this opportunity on this day. Hence, it's not just about the act of voting, it's celebrating this day. And you see in many parts of the world that after voting, people in fact had plans to celebrate it together as people of the same country.
All right, so all the focus moves locally now. This week, the IEC will be launching the ROC in Pretoria. We're going to be reporting from there. That's a sort of results hub. Just tell us what sort of activity will be happening at the ROC.
The ROC is the mainstay of our transparency processes in the electoral process. We will have close to 500 media personnel who will be reporting for the whole world how the electoral process will be unfolding from the ROC. We will be having representatives of all political parties, 48 of them who are participating in these elections. We will have all the commissioners of the IEC on site. We will also have our own officials who will be managing the electoral process. But the ROC is also a display, it's a spectacle of transparency, how elections in this country are run together with all major stakeholders. The media on the one hand, political parties, the commission, officials of the commission and so on, all under one roof. If difficulties arise, we are in one roof to deal with them. And we'll have consistent media briefings from the ROC. We'll have time to time party liaison committees where we will be briefing political parties about how the process is unfolding. So it's a major facility that helps us to coordinate that entirety of the electoral process.
I've been before. There's an incredible buzz that happens around election time. Okay, we're just days away. Final question, are you feeling ready?
Well, we are getting ready, and we are confident that the work that has been put over the past 24 months is now coming to fruition. And on the 8th, we urge South Africans to come in their numbers, and they will find our officials well-trained, confident, and capable of making them vote in a very efficient manner.
All right, we'll hold you to that. Thank you for being with us, the IEC's Chief Electoral Officer, a very busy man this Freedom Day, Mamabolo. We take a short break and join us after 8.